everybody, this is Adam Frick with Cannabis One TV. We are here at the California Cannabis Business Conference, and I've got with me Matthew. He's with the Arcadia Group. Did I say that right? Arcadian. Arcadian? All right. So you're an investment group, is that right?
That's right.
Okay. So what are you guys doing here at the show?
I love coming to the shows. We've been in the industry for a number of years now. When you get to a floor like this, it's exciting to try to see what the younger companies or the newer companies might be doing. Every once in a while, you run across a company you didn't even know existed that has a real market share and has been doing some great things. So no matter how long or how big you are in this industry, I think you always have to come to these just to figure out the essence of it, what people are saying and thinking, and we always walk away with a whole bunch of new contacts, and people are doing a lot of great things.
Very cool. And I know you have some people in your portfolio that are here at this show, but who do you like to talk to? Do you like to talk to the other businesses, or do you like to talk to the people that are here to visit these businesses, the spectators, or the what's the word I'm looking for? The people that are just here, the attendees, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I like talking to the businesses, and the reason is because they have a very clear objective. And I think they appreciate the fact that they go to the length they've gone to be here and the resources it took them to be here. I take the industry very seriously, and we put a lot of capital out. And I think they enjoy when someone walks up who is looking for opportunities to get involved with and ask them about their business. And so that is where I find the most productive conversations. But then inevitably you're going to be walking around and you're going to meet great people. But the important thing about any industry, but in this one in particular, is just to continue to ask questions. There's a lot of great minds here, a lot of great things to do, and you just learn more by asking.
So what do you see as the emerging markets? Where are you looking for to fill in the gaps in your portfolio?
I think we want to do more of the same. To be honest with you, we've been pretty lucky so far. Lucky being a term that we all use, but we know chance favors the prepared mind. We've worked really, really hard, but we have some industry leaders, and we just need to go do more of the same. Because I think as the industry grows, you have a variety of people in each vertical that start to have market share. I don't think we need to reinvent the wheel. We want to continue to invest with people that are doing things at a high level. So I think that's number one. Adam, number two is IP. Right? I mean, the foundation's set. Retail, cultivation, manufacturing is there, and it's going big. The services industry, where we spend most of our time, is really starting to get figured out, at least the fundamental aspects: data, HR, compliance, media, software. Really good companies right now. I think the next phase that's exciting for us really is the underlying IP behind everything, both in terms of science, because I don't think you can just put a product on the shelf anymore that looks like a brownie or a flower. I mean, you really need to have something underneath the hood that you own, and now's the time to do that. Lots of different genetics to play with, and terpenes and all these things that you can have a differentiated product. The other one for IP is the technologies, the delivery methods, and all the things that I think from a brand standpoint really drive the future of brands, but I do think it starts with IP, and so we're really trying to figure out who's got something of substance.
Now, are you guys helping them then patent some of these things that are coming out in the market? Or are you looking for existing companies that already are working on the patent process for their products?
We really like most of our companies to have that in place. And Adam, the reason is because we're growth investors. We really don't try to go too early. Our most valuable resource is the fact that we have a lot of resources. We hail out of a big family office, and being able to go into a company who's in an A or B round, we're able to be a lot more helpful than having our hands on it with creative and advisory roles day to day. We'd rather be able to help companies think about the future, and you can only do that when you're in growth. And so fortunately for us, these companies, by the time we get to them, they've had a couple of years of revenue, they have market share, they've solved a lot of problems. The next set of problems is where we really thrive.
Right, and that's getting that extra influx of money so that they can take their business to the next level, which was going to be my next question is, do you install or put people into these companies in an advisory role, or are you there on the board of directors, or you just take a hands-off approach altogether and say, you know, you guys have done a great job so far, so just keep doing what you're doing, and we're behind you.
We'd like to be that comfortable, Adam. We just aren't yet. There are a lot of great people here, but it's not that they need us. It's that they take us on as a strategic investor because the cap tables are limited for these companies, and when they take you on, it's because they want extra bandwidth.
Yeah.
They want you in the marketplace talking about the company. They want you talking to your other portfolio founders and other founders you may know about different businesses that can be driven through some type of strategic alliance. And it's just because these companies are in A and B rounds. I mean, by default, you don't have enough employees to do everything you need in an industry moving this fast. So our job is to go in and not get in their way, right? They're in growth, but we do want some type of board seat, advisor, board, could be just an observer. But we need to make sure we keep eyes on them. We've got a great team to do that. But ultimately, it's not the early problems, it's the next problems that they haven't even encountered. And that's what we want to be there for, that part of the journey. Right,
it's that you don't even know what you don't know yet, right? And you're entering that new phase of business, and you've pretty much dialed in what you have over here, but the future holds so many new opportunities, but so many more challenges that you haven't even thought through yet. And, you know, talking with guys like yourself, you can point to other companies that you've invested in that have already gone through those hurdles and hoops, and you can say, this is what's worked over here, so let's try this over here.
Right, or it could be something as simple as, hey, we want to replace our debt.
Yeah.
You know, and we've got a few people that are giving us pretty good terms. Do you guys have anybody else you want to bring to the table?
Yeah.
Well, we may have a relationship that comes in and, you know, does debt at 2% lower than the one they had, and now all of a sudden we've done everybody a good service, right?
Oh, yeah.
So things like that they don't need, that we can be helpful with without them even knowing. So, of course, consolidation, industry, inside conversation's important. But I think it's, like you said, sometimes the things that don't even know are coming.
Yeah.
And then having an extra team to help solve that problem.
Right, help them go forward and handle those hurdles. So what are the challenges in the industry right now? Obviously, it's not legal nationwide. There's that gray area that's happening right now, which I think is preventing a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? I'm looking for the careful investor, right? Yeah. The careful investor that really wants to get into this market because they see it as the next .com boom of the 90s, right? And they're just afraid of that piece. And you guys obviously are putting a lot of money in there with the potential of losing it. So what does that mean to you guys?
I think what it means is really the essence of and reason why we built the fund.
Yeah.
Because we knew that times were going to get tougher to find ways to invest.
Yeah.
And they are now. A lot of money is coming to the space. A lot of people feel this way, and that's a dangerous thing in some ways because companies can take money, overvalue themselves, over-leverage themselves, and have a great thing going, and for one reason or another, not end up in success.
Right.
And so I think if you're an investor out there, you need someone to help you right now.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, there's only about 10 or 15 groups in the world that are doing things at the level that we're all doing them right now.
Yep.
And we're all friends. And the reason is because there's so much room for everybody.
Yeah.
Right now, it's crazy. And so we want to understand how the other funds value companies and how they think about them. And the funds want to understand how we think about them because ultimately there's no reason to compete. There's room for everybody if we do this the right way. And if you're an investor, to know that there's groups that are doing this with great teams day and night, every day, at every conference, flying to every country in the world. That's what it takes right now. And I think a fund manager, and there's a lot of great ones, not just us, give you your best chance. It'd be like going back to .com. You're better, good luck investing your money in today feeling like you got the big winner.
Right.
But if you hadn't just invested in the biggest funds that were doing that at the time, we can all name the big ones, their returns are still today crazy. You're better off having done that. And then once you get in the industry a little bit and you get to be familiar with the fund and the way they do things and the companies, now you may want to take a shot on your own. But in an unregulated industry, where things are moving this fast, there's information that is not available to anybody because they're happening at conferences with fund managers and founders. And how else would you know this information? We get calls, I can't tell you how much, how often from big banks that we all know, big law firms, big valuation companies, big ones, big wealth managers. Can you tell me what's happening?
Yeah.
I've got clients, we have no data.
Yeah.
This industry's so big, which is why we invest in a lot of data companies. What is going on? And fortunately for us, we're not only in the right rooms, we get the right deals that want us as a validating investor in these companies, but we're in there every day.
Right.
And that's what's really important.
So I know Canada just came on the market. You know, it's the largest country in the world to go to legalize it fully across the board. So what does that mean for the United States? Because I know that they're now, with all the money that's going into Canada, they're now looking at U.S. companies to snatch up.
Yeah, it's a validating thing when you see a public exchange do what they're doing. And that's really what it's become, is the world's bank for cannabis. And you know, what Canada is doing is great. What the CSC and TSX are doing is great. And what that does is allow the big money to play. And when the big money comes in, institutionals, you get to sort of see how things might unfold in other markets. And when you have Constellation put $400 million in a company to start the year, they've got really smart people there, and 6 months later they write another check for $4 billion.
Wow. That's insane.
It's crazy, and that can't happen unless you have a market that's ready to do what Canada did. Now, they're going to turn their attention to the rest of the world. You see a lot of those companies doing that already, licenses all over the place. I mean, Constellation invested in Canopy because of the fact they have first mover advantage to the world via their regulatory environment and their banking system now. But it's not for Canada. They invest that type of money because they think that it's first mover to a whole lot of markets. And so they're going to turn their attention to bigger markets. You know, they're maybe in the 7th inning, maybe we're in the 3rd inning or something like that. But Europe's in the 1st inning. South America is just getting into the game. They're warming up. Asia and India haven't even hired a coach yet. I mean, there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of market left. And, you know, it's fun to be a part of it.
Awesome. Matthew, thank you so much. I hope we can keep in contact and interview you again sometime, because I really want to keep up with what's going on the market and all the things that you guys are doing. So once again, thank you. Thanks for tuning in to Cannabis One TV. We hope to see you guys very soon. We got more information from the show coming your way.